That's right, gamers. The patch notes are here. Hearthstone updates. Dev comments. This patch is focused on adjustments to the mini set. We have another patch window in a few weeks between expansion announcement and launch, where we plan to look at the meta more broadly. So that's the patch that they actually appears that this patch is mostly a BG patch, which with some small changes for standard, because standard kind of needs. The mini set introduced a major outlier, Big Spell Mage. Although some players enjoy the play pattern, the deck causes frustration due to how prevalent it is and how early it can get its power spike. Yeah, playing Skylon 4. Yeah. The goal of these changes is to push back the average Big Spell turn a bit and shave a little power from the deck while allowing it to keep its core functionality. That's nice that they want it to still exist. There's either they very lightly nerf it or they go scorched earth and nerf everything about it, which they've done in the past about decks they don't know how to balance. With one mini set Taurus getting toned down, we wanted to give the other one some help so that players can try another fun vacation destination, make the most of what it has to offer. All right. Portal Master Skyla, old, 5 mana, new, 6 mana. All right, that's all. And it's 1 mana more expensive, which means you're on average going to be playing Skyla 1 mana later. It doesn't change the combo where if you were to play Seashell on 4 into this on, or Seashell on 3 into this on 4 going second, but, who cares? It's fine. It's go slower on average. That's only one situation where it doesn't come out slower, but yeah, fine. Cephalopod, the next spell you draw is cast when drawn. I've seen people already complaining about this change, because it doesn't really do that much, but I think it kind of does. Normally this would come out on like turn 3 or turn 4. I guess it can. Yeah, turn 3 is going second is the really big power play, and then on turn 4 you have the dudes. That's still gonna happen. It's still gonna come out as quickly as possible, and I kind of like that they're not killing the strategy entirely, not removing all the high roll opportunities. But it was pretty impressive that this thing also came at premium stats, came at pit fighter level, and then kind of beat us with it. And that I think that's change is gonna matter a little bit. Turbulus, old 4 mana 3/4, new 3 mana 3/3. I don't know what to really say about this. I don't know why they buffed it, because Turbulus isn't really the issue. It's the fact that hunter cards are kind of bad, in my opinion. Like, yeah, they definitely have a place in Shaman. They definitely made Shaman better, especially Highlander Shaman. But like, the reason we're not seeing a ton of Shaman decks with this isn't because the Taurus isn't strong enough. It's because this one's significantly stronger than anything. Like I don't think this makes a difference. It's kind of a nice change. The only deck that really runs this right now is Highlander Shaman outside of Wild, and that that being slightly better will be a little bit interesting. I might even play that today, just because the deck looks fun. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about what's going to be good after this patch goes through, which by the time you're watching this video, the patch should already be live. All right, we're just going to wing this. So I'm going through my tier 1 through 4 strategy. S tier would be significantly above everything else and unbeatable. We haven't seen that in a while. We may only see that at High Legend as well, but this tier list is for kind of an everybody tier list as much as I can do. And it is going to be slightly skewed to the higher legend meta. So just keep that in mind. However, with practice, at least, every single one of these decks should line up roughly with this. Everything in this category should be playable. Tier 1 strategies being the best strategy on average means that this may be something that if you're new to the game, this is something to try and learn. If you are more comfortable trying to counter a specific strategy, then the tier 2 decks are going to be better for you. And if you're okay losing to the big bad deck but want to beat everything else, then this is where you want to. Now, the first deck I want to talk about going to be, I think this one's pretty clear. Overhill Priest. Overhill Priest is going to be around for a while. I don't think it gets any weaker from having less mage in the pool. Mage wasn't a terrible matchup. but I think Overheal Priest is currently tier 1 and will remain tier 1. The only thing that makes it a little bit weaker is slightly less aggro, but the aggro that's being played, I think, is going to be fine. Like the aggro right now is kind of already beating Priest sometimes, which is kind of freaky. So I think maybe less of it might be good. I don't think there should be too much less of it because Pirate DH is much going to be good day 1. And I don't think that's to be a surprise to most people, especially at all ranks. You look at HS Guru right now. Go over to the standard decks. You're gonna see a lot of Pirate DH, Painlock, and Big Spell Mage. With very little else in here. I mean, we have some Evolved Shaman, some Highlander Druid, but like it's a lot of aggro and mage. And I don't think that Pirate DH specifically is only good because Overheal Priest. I think it's good against a lot of things. They're also trying to be Overheal, or I mean, sorry, Big Spell Mage. I think it's good against a lot of decks that also beat Big Spell Mage. We'll put it in here. I'm not going to put Painlock in here. I think Painlock gets a little bit weaker on average because I believe the deck, if you want to play it completely optimally, it is going to struggle a little bit less with less Big Spell Mage. I think on average, across all ranks, Painlock was a good counter to Big Spell Mage, but most people misplay with the deck more often than not. I mean, it's the only deck where you can accidentally kill yourself, either literally or figuratively, where you just set yourself in a position where you're gonna lose for sure. So yeah. Next up, I'm just gonna go into tier 2. Odyn Warrior, I think, moves up. I think before it was tier 3, with it not really being mage, it being a lot of things to beat mage. Odyn Warrior is good against both Overheal Priest and Pirate DH. If you're seeing this type of meta quite a bit, just a lot of aggro in general. Odyn Warrior is going to counter that. You will lose to some, DKs maybe down the line. But this is you're gonna want to use to beat these decks. After that, I do think that we'll see a couple mixed opinions from here. I think tier 2 is going to be the most interesting tier, because the two decks that you're trying to beat are quite different, and it would depend on your individual meta about what is actually good. But I do think that Insanity Warlock is creeping up. And Insanity Warlock can be built to beat Overheal Priest, even though I think Overheal Priest beats on average with equal skill level. Most of you guys will be a non-equal skill level, or the Priest will be misplaying. So I think Insanity Warlock is fine. I think it can be tech to beat aggro just a bit as well. And I think most lower rank aggro players aren't mulliganing effectively. So you can take Insanity Lock, which is even easier, and kind of win games with that. And then I do think that Triple Blood Control DK is going to stay relevant, and I think it's going to be good against both of these decks. I think it's going to be kind of spooky to see that deck around for a while. I do think if Insanity Warlock becomes more popular, then it's going to get beat by this, but we'll have to see. And then I do think we could include all the combo warlock, all the combo druids here. I'll put that right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and include Big Shaman as well. I think Big Shaman will be okay versus Overheal Priest, even though I think Overheal Priest beats Big Shaman. I think that on most ranks you're going to be losing that matchup as the Overheal Priest, with the amount of ways that Big Shaman has to disrupt Rest in Peace and their big combos that the Priest wants to do. And I think it's pretty good versus Pirate DH as well. After that, Pipsy Paladin in tier 3, because I think Pipsy Paladin beats a wide range of decks. I'm not a complete expert on this, so don't roast me over the coals if I'm wrong on this, but I do think Pipsy Paladin is mega playable. It beats a lot of these decks, and more often than not, I think it's kind of good versus some of the control decks. And it has a lot of game versus quite a lot of things. It beats a lot of the random strategies. Or Big Spell Mage. I don't think it'll be great versus these two decks necessarily. I think over Big Spell Mage sees a resurgence with the changes. I think it'll be affected less by the nerfs. It doesn't even run Cephalopod in a lot of versions, so yeah, I think it'll be fine. After that, this is the bulk of what I think you'll be seeing. But I do think Highlander Shaman deserves to be in here, or Highlander Druid. Basically, if you're in a situation where you're seeing no aggro, or you just feel like you're not going to commit a bunch of aggro, Highlander Druid's like it beats everything that's not aggro more often than not if piloted properly. So enjoy that. After that, let's see. Want to be as broad as possible with this. Painlock, I almost forgot Painlock. Painlock definitely goes in here. It's definitely a good strategy. I think it'd be closer to tier 1 if everyone can play it perfectly. So if you want a deck that's going to challenge you, I think this goes up here. After that, I'm just going to go ahead and hop into tier 4. I think FFU is definitely playable, but it's more in the for fun category right now. Like, you can definitely beat people with the deck, but I don't think it's as dominant as it used to be. And I think Rainbow Shaman exists in here as well. I actually want to put Evolve Shaman here, because Evolve Shaman beats a lot of random crap. And I think that's worth mentioning. I can also put Egg Hunter right here as well. And the meme decks. These aren't necessarily the meme decks. These are playable decks, but they're more on the for fun scale than anything else. I definitely think Rainbow Highlander exists in here. And we'll see how Tempo Druid glaze. I think we can actually put Tempo Druid. I think it's likely Tempo Druid's tier 2. We'll see though. And I do think Dungar Druid goes down here though. Alright. I think it's probably worth talking about Weapon Rogue as well. I think Weapon Rogue might actually be tier 1 because it's already pretty good. So I'm just gonna put that up there. Let's see, am I missing anything else? There is a Mech Rogue strategy that's pretty interesting. I definitely think it's tier 3. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then let's see, anything else we're missing? Nope. All right, I'm gonna reformat this just a bit. Post the end of the screenshot, and then we'll talk about it from there. Deck codes for most of these are going to be in the description, as many as I can find. And then we'll see how things shake up. I'll be posting this image as well on Twitter, so link for my tweet on this will be in the description as well, in case you want to save it for later. I might format it just a little bit cleaner. But I think this is a pretty good example of the playable decks that are going to be available and where they're going to be sitting roughly. I think there'll probably be some decks I'm forgetting, but this is a pretty broad list of everything playable. Thanks for watching. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe. And I stream on Twitch every day at twitch.tv/McKayTime. See ya. Oh wait, I actually recorded the intro on time. Oh wait. Oh.